Namaste, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Find a seat that it's comfortable. Rest your palms on your lap and get settled on your seat. So this week and today with this class, I'm starting a new theme that we are going to use through our meditations. And it's connected to the portion that I'm sharing every week. Actually, I started last week with the first concept, which is avidya. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to explain it now, but we were working a lot in all the meditations in connecting to our true self, our essence, which is what we believe in the yoga philosophy, what doesn't change and stays even when we are not here anymore. So then we're going to work with a concept that it might be a little bit more challenging for us to work, but I think in this time that we are called to pause, we have an opportunity to look within ourselves. And this one is referred to ego. And in the philosophy, and I think all of us, we understand ego as actually a good thing. Ego is what defines who we are. It's something that in our lives, it's already there, right? We are born and we grow with it, and it gives us labels in a way. And the ego that it's referred to in the philosophy here is the one that becomes a little bit problematic in the sense that it makes us suffer. So we understand as when we over-identify or misidentify with anything that can change, that brings suffering. For example, I am a teacher, or I am rich, or I am more important than blah, 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 or less important than someone else. So those attachments, when we cling too much to those ideas or those titles, it's when that can cause suffering in our lives. So it can also be when we have behaviors that are controlling and we want to control things that we know that we cannot. And that is also understood as a form of ego. So the idea for this concept is to try and work on noticing how this is affecting our lives. And sometimes feeling too powerful or too powerless, it's also an expression of ego and can cause suffering. So the idea is to look at ourselves and look if we are clinging to something that's ever changing, right? Like, I'm sure that perhaps you can think of people that you know that they feel very important because they have a certain car or etc., etc. But besides that, I think it's also an opportunity to look at ourselves and notice when ego is running the show, let's say, and how sometimes if I'm clinging too much to a certain idea of myself or a way I relate to others, that becomes a little bit less free, right? I'm not being able to be the complete self that I can be. So this is the idea, and this is what we are going to be working this week. Let your palms rest, close your eyes, take a few breaths, sitting nice and tall. Try and make your seat soft, not rigid. And invite the eyelids to gently rest. Notice any fluctuations in your mind. Any thoughts, any emotions, any sensations in the body. And they are all fine. We slowly become still. We breathe softly in and out. And we let the breath move comfortably. And with your eyes closed, perhaps today, You choose to name a few qualities about yourself. Maybe adjectives, maybe qualifiers that you may use to describe yourself. And as you find a few of those things, let them move towards the borders of your skin. And you can start from there to draw the awareness down into your heart. Let those aspects of the self that you thought of remain part of the outermost self. Acknowledging your individuality, your personal power, your choice. But then as you drop a little bit deeper, further away from the outer skin towards your inner core, see for today you can release a bit of those attachments or the attachment to those things in a way that it feels like a release. And perhaps you want to use today this mantra, I am not that. And as thoughts come and go, you are reminded, I am not that. Bringing awareness to the physical body, but not being carried away by that awareness. Remember, I am not that. And while there may be differences from one person to the next, there's never separation. As we drop down and in, anytime an emotion or a thought comes up, you can say, I am not that. Returning to your big self. Sitting quietly with yourself, remaining still and aware, acknowledging the part of you that has no qualifications, the part of you that cannot be described. You are the one that expresses itself as many. I am you, you are me. Let's bring our palms together, resting the thumbs into the heart center. Keep your inner gaze into the center of your heart, the true divine light that lives within you. The light that never changes, based in loving kindness, awareness, compassion, joy, and peace. Let's open this journey with the Om sound one time, inhaling deeply through the nose. Big exhale, then breathing in again. Take a moment to connect the head to the hands and the heart. Then we release slowly, palms down, head up again, opening the eyes. Thank you everyone for being here. Join me on the mat. If you jumped in when we were already started, we are going to need a blanket. So we can use it as a foam roller. Maybe you have a foam roller at home and you want to use that instead, okay? So first thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to bring my notes so I get to do everything that I planned. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is either rolling a blanket, so you can make it like I said, like a foam roller, or if you have at home a foam roller and you want to use it today, you can use it, okay? So either or, I don't know, I'm going to try the foam roller. I'm going to kneel, and I'm going to put the foam roller right behind my calf muscles, and then I'm going to sit on top. I'm going to do a little bit with both to notice different sensations. The foam roller can be a little intense, so check it out, and if you have one of those, check it, and if not, you change it into the blanket, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do here is to just sit for a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths when you get to sit with the, like I said, foam roller or the blanket rolled right behind your calf muscles. And I'm just sitting there and taking a few breaths, noticing the sensations. Try to start bringing Ujjayi breath to your practice, breathing in and out through the nose, and inviting that breath to be fluid and flow naturally and as softly like water as you can. Good. After a couple of breaths, staying in this position, we are going to add a few leaning movements, right? So I'm going to start kind of swinging from side to side a little bit to access different portions in the backs of the legs, okay? So I'm just going one way and the other a few times. And you can also, after a few times, just move perhaps your roll to a bit different of a place where it is, so you sense also what's happening there in the body in other places, right in the legs. So you keep leaning a little bit from side to side like I'm doing. And you are also changing a little bit of the angle where that blanket is, okay? Just a few times. And if you can, you try to sit a little bit more towards your heels, even though, of course, we may not be touching the heels. At least for me, this is a thick foam roller, so I'm far from my heels. But you try to bring the weight a little bit further back. And take another breath. Good. Okay, one more thing here before we release these. We are going to lift through the spine, relax the shoulders, send the arms up overhead, lace the fingers, press your palms up towards the ceiling, and try to activate the inner and outer arms to make them a little bit straighter than what they are, bringing the elbows towards each other and pressing through the base of your palms, index fingers, and stretching a little bit also of the base of the palms and the wrists. If you can, you draw the abdomen in, setting the sitting bones heavy for one more breath. And then exhale, releasing the arms. Beautiful. We are going to take that roller out. And now we are going to sit onto our heels for a moment. Okay? Maybe it feels like it's easier to sit back. If this is too hard, you can put a block in between the heels, okay? Good, now from here, simple, I'm going to stay in this shape and I'm going to bring both my hands and arms and trunk to the right, inhaling, lengthening the spine, with the exhale and twisting to the right. And then another breath, inhaling here, exhale. Good, I'm coming back to center or neutral, and I'm going to switch to the other side, both hands to the left, lifting the spine, drawing the navel up and to the left. 2 breaths here, try to relax the shoulders. One more breath here, bringing the belly from right to left. Good, and then we return to center. Good, and from here, we are going to move the props and we are going to come to hands and knees. In these hands and knees, the first one that I'm going to do, I'm not going to do much really. I'm going to set up my palms with my fingers pinned out just a little bit towards the sides of my mat. I'm going to move my knees a few inches behind my hips, and I'm going to tuck the toes, bringing my feet to the edges of the mat. And we're going to do a modified down dog here. So first I'm going to press the mat away, keep the knees bent, and I'm going to send my sitting bones up and back. So my knees stay bent for now, and I'm creating an arch in my lower back, sending the chest towards the thighs, pressing through the base of my thumbs, index fingers, and I'm on the balls of my toes. So my heels are really high here. And then I'm going to slowly first draw the base of my pelvic floor up, bring my ribs in, push the mat away again, letting the head relax, and slowly trying to bring the inner heels towards the back of the mat as I activate my quads into the backs of the legs, okay? Take a deep breath in here, keep sending the hips up and back, sacrum tall, it's your highest point or the apex of your posture, and keep drawing the pelvic floor up, ribs in, relaxing the head. One more breath. And then we'll bring the knees down, coming back to the tabletop where we started. And from here, we'll take 3 cat-cows. Inhaling, arching and lifting through the heart. Exhaling, drawing the abdomen in, chin down. And again, inhale, exhale. 2 more, going at your pace, flowing with the breath, combining it with the movement. And one last. Good, returning to the tabletop. This time I'm going to keep my feet hip distance apart or a little wider, just a little bit wider. And I'm going to push back up into downward facing dog, drawing again the pelvic floor up. This time trying to lengthen through the inner heels into the back of my mat, drawing the ribs in as well like we did before. And then we are going to take a modified version here of the plank. So from here I'm going to come to plank. Then in this plank I'm going to bend the knees and do the cat shape. So I'm going to draw everything in. I'm pushing the mat away. You see how I'm rounding and my knees are bent, okay? And I'm drawing the belly up, I'm opening up the upper back, and then from there I'm going to push back into downward facing dog. And again, I'm going to inhale into plank. Then I'm bending my knees a little, drawing the navel up, pushing the mat away like the cat pose, and then back to down dog. One more time like that. Inhaling to plank, bend the knees, draw the abdomen in, push the mat away, open up the upper back, go back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. Now we are going to lift both heels and we are going to send them both to the right side of your mat. So I'm just, you can see, right? I'm leaning towards the right side. I'm pressing both heels down, trying to touch down into my mat again. And once I'm there, I'm going to push the floor away so I make my hips as high as I can, okay? Again, I'm trying to draw the abdomen in, push the mat away. Then I'm lifting up through the heels and coming over to the left. Once I ground my heels again, I'm pushing the mat so I can lift the hips as much as possible, drawing the belly in. Good, then back towards the regular dog. And we're going to bring the heels down again, pushing the mat. And slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Stay there for a moment, bend the knees. Ground the center of your heels and the base of your big toe and pinky toe down onto earth. That triangle that we worked on last week. And then from there, draw the lower belly up, relax the trunk, take a deep breath in. If you want, you can move your neck, your head a little bit. Good. And then put your hands on your hips, roll the shoulders back, press through those 3 points in your feet, lengthen, chest open, and we come up to standing. And then release the arms into Tadasana. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to mirror you, and we're going to be standing with feet hip distance apart. We are pressing through the center of the heels and the base of the big toe and pinky so we can lift the inner arches. And we are going to inhale, arms up overhead. Good, lengthen. Come on, Marcy, I can see you. Keep extending. Good, and now from here, we are going to take the right hand and we are going to catch first the wrist and pull a little bit through the wrist. Good, and then slowly walk that right hand a little further down until you get your forearm, okay? We are going to keep that. We are going to lengthen. We are going to do a stretch that is a little different than the usual. So I'm going to keep that stretch, and now I'm going to do the cat shape again like we did when we were in the cat-cow. So I'm going to round by bringing my navel in. I'm trying to make myself skinny. So I'm bringing everything in, rounding the upper back, and then I'm going to keep that and pull that left side over to the right. Okay, so this time instead of going up like we usually do, it's more rounded, and I'm pulling that left arm over to the right. And once I do that, I want you to try and activate your glutes and bring them into your body as you pull that left side over to the right. Okay, breathing in. My eyes are gazing down this time because it's a different stretch. Yeah, and then I'm coming back to neutral and release for a moment. Good. Let's go to the second side. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Beautiful. Reset the power through your feet. So press into those 3 points in both your feet. Lift the inner arches. Go with your left hand to hold your right wrist. First, pull from there. Make yourself a little taller. And then you walk the left hand a little further down so you can catch the right forearm. Good, and then from there I'm going to pull again. But before I go to the side, I'm going to do the cat pose. So I'm drawing everything in, rounding through the upper back. And then from there I'm pulling over to the left. Once I'm there, I'm gazing down. I'm going to send my glutes towards one another. So I'm squeezing the glutes towards the front of my pelvis. And then I'm trying to keep lifting through the inner arches as I'm pulling that right arm to the left. Good, then slowly return and release. Beautiful, let's go from the top of the mat. Give me 1 second. From the top of the mat, we are going to move and add more lunges now, okay? So we go from the top, inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we fold, bending the knees if you need. Inhaling, halfway lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring the right leg back with your right knee down. If you need padding for the knee, put it there. And untuck the back toes, coming up. Bring your hands onto your left thigh. And you're gonna push that thigh so you can ground again a little bit in the upper back. Take one inhalation here. One exhale. Good, and then from there I'm going to inhale, arms up and hook my thumbs to lengthen the sides, open the chest, keep lifting up through the crown of the head, draw the abdomen up, and then we're going to exhale into the cactus shape. Good, inhale here, opening the elbows, the chest towards the back, send the shoulder blades down. Good, then bring the hands towards one another, and we're going to cross right to the left so we can twist, okay? So now I'm going to press the left palm onto the right one. I'm going to draw the belly in, lifting up, shoulder blades towards one another, mainly the left shoulder blade moving back. Breathing in and out. Good, back to center, inhaling. Exhale, go to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Right foot comes forward, left knee comes down. Inhaling, arms overhead, hook the thumbs, extend. Exhale, bring the left foot forward and fold. Inhaling, hands to shins, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, arms all the way up. And we come to Tadasana as we release. Beautiful. Let's go with the second side. Lift your inner arches. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, we fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling halfway, shoulders back, belly up. Exhale, left leg back, left knee down, untuck the toes. And we come up, hands on top of the left thigh. Push that thigh forward, and then do the cat pose again. Bring the abdomen in, upper back wide. You'll feel a little bit more of the stretch in that hip flexor. So bring everything in, let that shape, rounded shape, be wide so we create more opening in the spine. Good, then we release that, inhaling, arms up, overhead, hook the thumbs, extend through the sides, draw the navel up to your nose, exhale, opening to the cactus shape. Beautiful, let's inhale, opening up a little bit there, lift through the center of the heart. Exhale, come with the hands together, left elbow to the right, we twist. Press the right palm onto the left one. Draw the left side of your belly up and over to the right, lifting up towards the ceiling. Right shoulder blade moves back. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up and back. Left foot comes forward, right knee goes down. Only one breath, inhaling, arms overhead, extend. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, we fold. Pressing through the feet, we come all the way up. Exhaling to center, and we release. Beautiful. Let's go a second time with some changes. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, folding over the legs. Inhaling, halfway up, draw the navel up. We exhale, we walk back to downward facing dog. Good, let's bring the right leg up and back. Hips moving towards one another, draw the abdomen in, push the mat away. Good, plank pose, right knee to the chest. Push the mat away and lift a little higher. Right leg up and back. Right foot comes forward in between the hands. Tone the inner thighs towards one another. Draw the navel in and bring your hands to your hips. Push the mat with your right big toe mound, center of the heel and pinky, and then from there lift up into the crescent lunge. Good. Tone that back leg, make that left thigh lift. If that feels like it's too much for you, for your hamstring, bend the back knee, okay? Hands on top of my right thigh. I'm going to push that thigh again, and again I'm going to draw the navel in and create the cat shape. That will pull more and open up that left hip flexor. So we go there, inhale, exhale. Good, then from there, firm the hips and bring the arms up. Draw the sacrum down, back of the head up. Good, a little twist here, but different than the usual. I'm going to bring the hands together. Right elbow will go inside the right thigh. Usually we twist the other way. This one is different. Right elbow inside the thigh, and I'm going to push the thigh into the elbow. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Lift the belly up and twist to your left. Try and bring the chest and the belly up towards the left. And bring the left hip forward a little bit if you can, as you keep bringing the belly and the chest up. Good. One more breath. Slowly return, arms up. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we inhale to plank pose. Use your knees first if you need to come all the way down. Fingertips out to the sides of your mat. Roll the shoulders back. Inhaling, cobra. Exhale. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Up we go, downward facing dog. Big breath in. And release. Beautiful. We'll go into the second side, drawing the abdomen in. Inhale, left leg up and back. Left knee to the chest, we come to plank. Push the mat away, open up the upper back, bring that knee in. Again, left leg up and back. Left foot forward. We stay with the right knee off the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs. Draw the navel forward. Lift up. Take a moment to tone the inner legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Press into the left big toe and slowly come up. Crescent lunge. Once you're there stable, hands on top of the left thigh. Press the thigh away and we bring that navel in, opening the upper back. Feel that opening in the right hip flexor. Try to keep bringing the right hip forward so it doesn't go all the way back and the left one back. Good, rounding there. Good, and then we bring both arms up, high lunge. Bending the front knee. Keep bringing the right hip forward, the left one back. Draw the abdomen up. Hands towards each other. We bring them to the center. Left elbow will go inside the left thigh. And I'm going to press the thigh into the elbow. Okay, so push it in. Keep bringing the right hip forward. Draw the belly up and over to the right. Push the right hand down into the left one so you can lift the chest a little more. And breathe here. Press into that left big toe. Bring the left hip back, right hip forward. Last breath. Good. Back to center. Arms up. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhaling plank pose. Exhaling, we come down. Inhaling cobra pose. Draw the sacrum in. Lift the front spine. Exhale. Tucking the toes. Up we go, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. An opportunity to reset. And as you exhale, release physically and any attachments to ideas of things that may change. So we release suffering. Good. From here, we are going to inhale, right leg up and back. Right knee to the chest, plank pose. Lift again, knee into the chest, draw the abdomen in. Re-extend right leg up and back. Bring that right foot forward one more time. Tone the inner legs. Lengthen through the spine. Hands to the hips. And we come back up, high lunge. One more time. Arms up overhead. Lengthen through the sides. Good. Bring the hands towards the chest. I'm going to go similar to what I just did before with a little change. Again, I'm going to draw the abdomen in, right elbow inside the right thigh, thigh pushing into the elbow. This time I'm going to extend that right arm down, maybe the fingertips touch, maybe not. Lift that belly, keep sending the left hip forward, right hip back, and see if you can lift the left arm up. Good. Keep sending the right sitting bone back as you open up through the chest. Good. One last breath. Bring the hands towards one another, back to center, high lunge. Good. Catch with your right hand, left forearm, pull and tilt to your right. Back to center. Exhale to downward facing dog. Big inhale. Release. Second side. Inhaling, left leg up. Draw the belly in. Left knee to the chest. Push the mat, lift up. Let's go back up. Left foot forward. Tone the inner legs into one another, lengthen through the spine. Hips moving in towards the center of the pelvis. Bring your hands to your hips. We go back up. Arms up overhead. Crescent lunge. Hands towards each other, coming towards the heart. Lift the heart into your hands. Draw the navel up. Good, we go again. We are going to twist to the right. I'm putting my elbow inside the left thigh. And I'm trying to press that thigh into the elbow, lifting the belly and the chest. If you need support of blocks, put them there, okay? Now I'm going to try and firm my hips a lot so I don't fall. Left fingertips down to the floor or the mat. And right arm up. Keep pressing the left hip into your body, right hip forward, and bring the belly up, 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 and the chest up, up, up. Pressing to the left big toe. Good. Hands towards each other, returning, crescent lunge. One more to go. Left hand catching the right forearm, pull, and tilt to your left. Back to center, back to downward facing dog. Inhaling, we come to plank. Exhaling, we lower. Roll the shoulders, sacrum in, open up through the chest. Exhale. Nice, let's go to child's pose. Widen the knees, bring the sitting bones to the heels, and release the forehead down. Let's take a full minute here to reset and find rest. Good. Take a few moments to reset the breath. And notice sensations, notice thoughts, notice emotions. See if you can, as you observe those, with a compassionate heart, release the ones that hook you to a perhaps inflamed idea of yourself or a thought that is hooking you to suffering. Good. 2 more breaths. And then slowly coming back up towards a seat. Tuck your toes and lift up. We are going to come to standing. And from here, with my feet hip distance apart, I'm going to bring my hands into my thighs and I'm going to slide them down as I come towards the chair pose. But my hands are in front, so they are going to help me. Okay? So from here, I'm going to try and bring the sitting bones down. I'm going to push my thighs so I can bring my abdomen in like the cat pose. Again, we have a theme today. And I'm pressing into the center of my heels, pressing into the base of my big toes, keeping that rounded shape and going a little deeper if I can. Stay there for a breath. Good. And then I'm going to send my arms up and to the sides like the cactus shape. So now I'm going to open through the chest. I'm changing the shape, more like the cow. Opening, sitting bones down, lifting through the abdomen and sending the elbows back. One more breath. Then inhale, come up. Exhale and release. Good. Beautiful. Let's go to the top of the mat again. Inhaling, arms up overhead. If you want to have blocks close by, you may want to catch them. Exhale and fold. From here, we are going to inhale halfway. And with the exhale, touching down onto my mat, or like I said, blocks if you need. Firm the hips into one another, draw the abdomen in, press into your left foot, lifting the inner arch, and lift your right leg up and back. This looks like a standing split. I'm trying to keep my right hip crease facing down, not open, but facing down, drawing the abdomen in and releasing the trunk. If you need blocks here, put them, or any support. Lift through the inner left arch, press into the left big toe. One more breath. Make the left hip move into your body. Then come up halfway. Keep your right hand towards the right corner of your mat. Draw the abdomen up and twist to your left. Push through the right foot. Belly up, chest up, left arm up, or it can stay with the hand to the hip. One more breath. Release the left hand, release the right foot next to the left. Bend the knees, drop the torso, release the head. One more breath here. Good, and then we'll go on to the second side. I'm going to take a block so I can show you the second side in case you want to use a support. So I'm putting a support in front. Again, I have my feet parallel to each other, hip distance apart. I'm going to now press into the right foot, base of the big toe and pinky, press through the center of the heel, and if you need to hold on to that support, draw the abdomen in, and then you lift the leg, opposite leg, up and back. Maybe I did the one wrong. Now it's the right and the left goes up, the one that we didn't do before. So press into the right big toe mound, press into the center of the heel, lift the opposite leg up, and draw the right hip in, relax the neck and the head, and as you release through the head, keep the left hip facing down, right hip moving up to the ceiling. One more breath. Then I'm lifting torso back up, more parallel to the floor. Left hand stays to the left corner of the mat. Draw the belly up and twist towards your right. Belly in, chest up, right shoulder blade in. Keep pushing through that left foot, left hip facing down. Then we release, right hand down, left foot coming next to the right. Bend the knees, drop the torso. Good. Okay. Let's go slowly from here into a squat, widening the feet. Send the sitting bones down. Bring the arms inside the legs. Take a couple of breaths. Relax the skin in the face. Return to the breath. And then from there, bringing the hands behind, take a seat. Extend the legs for a moment, shake them a little. Good. Now I'm going to keep my hands behind, bend the knees, and put your feet on your mat, okay? Take a moment, sit, come there, and we are just going to use our hands as a support. So you can put the fingers pointing out towards the sides of your mat. If it feels more comfortable, the fingers pointing back, you can do that, or even change them to face in towards your feet, okay? From here, I'm going to lift my right foot and put it on top of my left thigh. It looks like the number 4, and we are going to just stay there. If this doesn't feel like there's much going on, you bring the left foot a little closer and it will accentuate the sensation in that right hip. Now I'm just going to keep the right foot active. So again, I'm going to use those 3 points in my foot to push away. And I'm going to try and move my right knee a little bit away from my chest. That's it. Inhaling, keep the shoulders moving back and down. Opening the chest. One more steady, long breath. And then we slowly release that. Beautiful. When you're ready, we go to the second side. Left foot on top of the right thigh. You may need to adjust that right foot, maybe a little further out or a little closer, depending on sensations in that left side. Left foot is active. I'm pressing through the 3 points that are my triangle to activate that foot. Push the knee away from the chest just a little. Don't go too extreme. And take a few breaths here. Sternum lifts up. One more breath. Good, and then slowly release that foot. Good, we are going to, I'm going to face you guys. We are going to sit crossing the shins, like cross leg, doesn't matter which shin, just remember which one went in front. And from here, we are going to inhale, arms up overhead. Beautiful, exhale, fold over the legs for a moment. One more breath. Then slowly walk yourself back and switch the shins. We'll just go for 3 breaths on the second side. So now the second leg goes in front. Inhale, arms up. Exhaling, we fold and we release. Slowly walking back towards the seat. Re-extend the legs, shake them a little. Good. And now we are going to come onto our backs for a modified version of the bridge pose. So I'm going to come onto the back, like I said, walking my shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades into one another, and my heels are going to be a touch wider than the sitting bones, okay? So first what I'm going to do here is to ground through the 3 points in my feet. So I want to really press through the base of the toes and the center of the heel so I can lift the inner arches. And before we go up, just do a little bit of rocking your pelvis. So I'm just kind of like tucking and tilting my pelvis a few times to feel that in the mat. Good. And then I'm going to release and let it be in neutral, natural shape there, letting it rest on the mat. And now I'm going to move my feet a millimeter closer to each other. So I'm bringing them a little bit in, okay? I'm going to press through the left foot, inner and outer edge. I'm holding the mat, and I'm going to lift my right leg up towards the ceiling. I'm drawing the abdomen in, lifting through the pelvic floor and drawing my ribs down as I do that. And I will need a lot of power into that left foot because I want to lift up. So I'm going to squeeze my glutes, send the sacrum in, and when you're ready, lifting both hips, we lift up and we walk the shoulder blades a little bit further into one another. Try to keep the hips leveled. Power through that right leg, thigh into the back of the leg. Push into the inner side of your left foot. Bend the right knee. Come down and release. Nice. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then we'll get ready for the second side. Right foot is going to press down. You need the inner line of that foot. The inner arch is lifting, but the base of the big toe and the inner heel, they are pushing down to help you stay stable. Activate the glutes, hold your mat, and then navel in, extend the left leg up. First, bring those ribs down towards your hips, draw the pelvic floor up, and once you're ready, remember you need that base on your right foot, and we lift up through the hips. Tone that left thigh, push into that right foot, lift the hips a little higher, sacrum into the body. One more breath. Bend the left knee, bring the foot down, release. Good. Bring both feet to the edges of your mat. Open the arms to the sides. Let both knees drop to the left and put the left foot on top of your right knee. So we go a little deeper in that twist. Chin to the right. Good. Then return with the head. Bring the left foot out to the edge of your mat. Both knees back up. Make sure that the feet are wide. Bring both knees to the right. Right foot on top of the left knee if the knees are okay. And then from there, chin to the left. Just 2 more breaths here. Good, then slowly release the right foot first to the side. Bring both knees back to the center. Hug both knees in, rock from side to side. Stay there, guys. Rocking a little bit from side to side. And if you want, you can take a happy baby pose before we'll move towards Shavasana. Good. Once you feel ready to start releasing into the resting posture, corpse pose, add any props, any support. If you have a wall close by and you want to use it to place your legs up the wall, it's a very restorative posture. It's very helpful. Maybe you want to do that. If you don't have a wall that it's empty to use, no worries. You can add that roll that we used in the beginning under your thighs or your knees and lie down. And as we come towards the end, we release and surrender. And again, we have a chance to let go of all labels, of attachments, of misunderstanding, confusion. As we release the body and let go of the mind, we return to the eternal self.